Have you ever watched SpongeBob?
Yes.
Hi guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with Eva from Veveversity. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Um, so there is we were just talking about the Vivi University that you have and the courses. How many hours worth of like content is on there?
So there's a little over 3 hours of content, but I do talk a little quickly. So let's say like four hours.
We
And then
like
there's
that.
also some cheat sheets. Like I made a little summary of the MCP. I made a little pre-drop checklist that I usually use for comics and collectibles. So there's like three PDFs, and then there's 28 videos, I believe. 3 hours.
Okay, cool. So you'd be able to have like even if you let's say someone that maybe can't absorb it just by listening, you can download the PDF and kind of like use that as like a study sheet and just go over that.
Yeah, the PDFs are not necessarily a recap of the whole course. It's just little extras, but I mean, it's always good to have it in video format because if ever you didn't really understand something, you can always go back and start the video from the beginning. Or if ever, for example, I have a video that talks about just an example, the what to do during on the market during a drop. So if, for example, there's a drop tomorrow and you just want to refresh your memory, you can always go back and refer to that video and watch it right before. So yeah,
Good.
it's pretty full. Yeah.
I know that there's a not an issue. There's just like a little piece of trivia that generally for like a 45-minute show, like a show that would go for like an hour, it'd be like 40 pages, of dialogue. But for the show Gilmore Girls, it was like 80 pages because they would all talk so fast. So I imagine, I imagine, how long did it take you to do that? Like, did you? I'm guessing you wrote a script, right? Or did you just like, this is a good take?
So no, so I had like bullet points of so I make sure that I include all the information. But to prepare the course, it actually took me I'd say like 4 months, three, four
Oh,
months.
oh my God.
It's just because I really had to make sure that I include every possible scenario, every little tip and trick that I can think of. And it's not necessarily something that you can think of on the spot. And so
Yeah.
every time I was on the market doing something, I was like, okay, I should write that on the course. And then I would just write it down. And after I accumulated a lot of information, then I made the videos. And Vivi always adds new features. There's always new things coming. So I'm actually updating the course right
Okay.
now. I'm just adding a few. I think I have 2 videos to add, and then every few months I'll be adding more videos. And it's going to be like the updates are going to be free for those who purchased the course already, because I
Okay.
want it to be as up to date as possible.
So you get like continuous downloadable content, but the downloadable content you don't have to pay for.
No.
So, and how long does that go for? Like if someone buys a course right now, I just put the link down in the chat. Uh, do they like never have to pay again?
No, it's a one-time fee. Yeah.
Oh wow. So this goes for so not only do you get, like 3.5 hours worth of content, which is more like 4 because you talk really fast, but you also have you will consistently update it and they'll
Yeah.
get more info and it's you
Yeah.
probably I mean it's too late now, but you probably could have had like one time fee and then after that it's like a I don't know like $20 a year after that or something like that.
I mean, I could have definitely done that, but the way that I see it is that if someone wants to buy the course right now, I want them to have it and to use it as much as they can.
Yeah.
And then if the information is not very relevant anymore, I don't want them to
Yeah.
just abandon the course. So, yeah, I could have definitely charged more, but I really enjoy doing this. I mean, I do it more because I want people to have these resources available to them. So it's really I really do enjoy doing this. So I really don't mind adding videos. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a step back, wind the clocks back a couple years. Before Vivi, before OMI, before I don't know what made Eva Eva? What made you you? How would you describe yourself?
So a lot of people don't know this, but I have 4 brothers, 2 older ones, 2 younger ones, and they've been into business their whole entire life. So they all have different types of business. One is into crypto, another one has hello. um, a few of them have stores, and so I've always learned from my brothers, and I really inspired to be like I aspired to be like them. And I've been doing business since I was, I think, 13, 14 years old. I started working for them, and then I started developing my own, my own path. And
What did you do working for them? What type of jobs did they have you do at 13?
okay, so I had so many different types of jobs. Um, I worked at a fair. That was my first job.
Wait, so
Because
like a
I've
clown?
always, yes, yes. Well, my
You have
uncle,
so much stories. I can't wait to hear
my
these stories.
my uncle owned a carnival. He doesn't anymore, but he used to, and so he needed people to, to work the games. And I've always been, I would say, a hustler. Like I've always like tried to make money any way that I can since I was very young. So I started working, and I remember my first the first game that I had was actually a duck pond. So you had to like, I don't remember exactly how the game worked, but I had a microphone and I had to get people to come and play my game, and I was really good at that. And then I started working for my brother at a flea market. That's how he started when he was younger. So I was there at 5 in the morning selling things. We would set up our tables, selling glasses, perfumes, really anything you can imagine. Then after that, I had an antique store. I closed it like 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. And then I've had also a lot of customer service jobs, but I've never really enjoyed those too much. I did get a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge from those jobs, but it was more like I really enjoy hustling for my money. So
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll go backwards. Why'd you close up the antique shop? Did you want something with a little more action? Was it like, hey, the cost of my time is really not worth it, and I can do something better? Or is it just you ran out of stuff to sell?
No, so I would always I would find things online. I would go to garage sales. I had so many different ways of finding items. That wasn't the problem. The only problem was that it was in like in a it was called an antique flea market, but it wasn't necessarily a regular flea market. It was like a bunch of little shops, and I was the youngest one there. It's like a lot of older people. And they were only open on the weekends. It was only
Oh,
Friday,
okay.
Saturday, Sunday, and it wasn't really worth my time. I mean, I had my regular job during the week, and then I had that on the weekend. But I mean, because they're only open on the weekends, I couldn't necessarily, if I sold something out of the shop, I couldn't necessarily go and get it. So it was just like it wasn't very convenient.
Yeah.
But I still do. I still go thrifting, and I really enjoy going thrifting and finding undervalued items and reselling them. Yeah, so I still do that a bit.
Gary V would love you. Gary V would just like, oh my God, I need to get you on. I need to interview you. And so being like probably in your late 20s or early 30s, being so young, having that antique store where everyone else is probably like in their 50s, 60s, or even older, and you have so much energy. Were they like intimidated? Did they like hate you, or were they like, oh, a breath of fresh air? What was their reaction like?
Well, they would. A lot of people would actually come to my shop and buy stuff off of me to resell them because I was just trying to make quick flips. I would. I don't. A lot of them had items that they would hold on to for a while and then resell them for very expensive. But for example, if I bought something for $2 at a thrift shop and I can get $100 right then and there, I'll take it. I won't keep it for a bit and to get more. But then I started selling stuff on eBay, and then I did other online platforms, and I realized that it was taking less time and I was making more money doing things online. And so that's one of the reasons why I stopped
Okay.
selling at the flea market. Yeah.
All right. So I can definitely tell where you got the sales stuff. I'm so curious. Like I think I've seen in that carnival games, like you have like a little fishing pole and you're supposed to get something off the back of the duck. Is that what it was?
It was so long ago. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Oh no, okay, you know what? I do remember. You had to pick a duck, and under the duck there was a certain number. And then if you accumulate all those points, let's say it was, for example, $5 for 10 ducks.
Yeah.
You pick 10 ducks, you look at the numbers under, and if you had a certain amount of points, it would get you a teddy bear, or I think they
Oh,
were
cool.
teddy bears. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. And then so yeah, especially if you only get like a small amount of points and there's only a certain small amount of ones that have like 5 or 6 points. Yeah, that's really good. So tell me some stories about the carny life. I'm so curious. Did you guys travel? Did you go from county to county or state to state?
We did travel, and I remember there weren't many girls there, and I was very young, so we would stay in motels. That was a really long time ago. We would stay in motels, and then we would, or like I think we slept in a trailer once, and then we would go from place to place. We had to wake up really early, and just hustle from the morning till it closed. Sometimes when we had a good day, we would stay extra long till like 12.
Oh,
So
and you're
yeah,
up early.
it was very intense. But I've been doing things like that since I was young. And then when I got a little older, I was like, okay, I'm not really cut out for this. Like I'd rather stay at home in front of my computer, and just
Yeah,
do that.
of
Yeah.
course. So there's a show Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. You ever hear of it?
No.
It's hosted by Jonathan Frakes, the dude from Star Trek, and
Okay.
he had a one of the you had to determine which ones were real and which ones were fiction. It was really fun, and some of them were kind of like scary. And one was about this dude that was just really good at all the games. He was winning ring toss, he was running everything, and they're like, "What's going on? We're like losing so much money from this guy." And like the story went that the guy had he was like an engineer that used to work for them, and then he had like died like fixing a ride, and then he knew all the secrets. Is there any like lore from like your carnival, any like ghost stories that happened, like, oh, somebody saw this in this random place? Any experiences like that?
No, no, there isn't. But there was one guy that I don't remember what the game was called, but it was like a kind of like a swing, but it was like really big with you could put I think 20 people inside. And one guy, I think he went to fix something and he got hit in the head and they brought him to the hospital. That was like a horror story, but no,
Damn.
that's really the only thing that happened. But you know what? Working at a fair, there's a lot of drama. There's always one person dating someone else, and yeah, it's really something else. Yeah.
So this was like what, like 15, like 20 years ago, give or take? Because you were really young. You said you were like 13, right?
So I worked there for I think 2, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now I'm 29,
Mm-hmm.
29.
I would say
So
it was
yeah,
like 15 years ago.
I think I was like 14, maybe 14. Yeah.
So were like group texts, like I'm trying to remember, were group texts a thing 15 years ago? I feel like they weren't.
I I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I could imagine like the sauciness that would have happened in the group text, like, oh, Sheila's over there with Don. um, oh, I could only imagine. Uh, so,
Yeah, no, it was
so you,
intense.
so you said you were one of the youngest there and like one of the only girls. And did that kind of like prepare you for like, I guess like dating life in the future? Like being like, oh, now I know that boys are messy, and now I know that this is what to expect, and I'm not going to get culture shock.
Well, look, I have four brothers, so I've learned a
No,
lot just from them.
that's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been working with guys, with men my whole entire life. So yeah, I mean, I did see some things that I knew I didn't want, but I learned a lot more from my brothers than anything else. Yeah.
I had the same thing with being a veterinarian assistant. That's a field that's heavily dominated by women. So
Oh.
yeah, it was really interesting. Like years ago, I was like, oh wow, I'm learning so much, and like they were also it was just cool. It was interesting.
So
Uh,
I always wanted to be a vet when I was younger. My cousin is actually a veterinarian, but yeah, no, that was way too complicated for me.
yeah, it gets sad too. I was like,
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to. No, I'd
yeah,
be way too attached.
yeah. Also, I don't know if like my brain like works that way, and like the medical stuff. Like I get, pattern recognition is really cool, and finding what's undervalued is really cool, but I don't know. I was trying to figure out what's wrong with like a pet. Is like, I don't know. I wouldn't trust myself. Like, what if I miss something and I'll be overthinking things? But yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
no, it is.
so something I saw recently was that I don't know how much money this dude made, but he would take like $100 or however much money, and he would go to carnivals or places like arcades that would have a thing where you put a certain amount of quarters in and the quarters slide up, and then there's
Oh
like a
yes.
tower quarters. And he was like really good at that. He was playing like three machines at once, and he was going live on TikTok while doing it. And everyone's spamming him with all these like gifts and flowers and whatever that you can do on TikTok. Is that something that you could do now? Like just because like the ins and outs of some of the games at carnivals and you know how they tick, and you'd be really good at it.
Well, look. all the games, well, not all, but most of the games at carnivals are, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. They're all rigged. So a lot of people think that you can put in like $5 and go home with a huge teddy bear. There's no way for you to do that.
Yeah.
Everything is done in a way that it's profitable for them. I mean, again, I did that like 15 years ago, so I don't know about it now.
Yeah.
But I remember my brothers used to work at a game where you were able, when those little mini, what are they called? Mini peds? Those little mini bikes?
Like the
It's like those,
tricycles that you can
no,
like,
no, no, it's like those mini motorcycles. I think they're called mini pegs. I'm not sure.
like
But they
dirt
were
bikes?
really, yeah, but a mini one.
Oh, I don't
I
think I
don't know.
know.
So it was really, maybe it was just in Montreal, but in Canada, but it was very, very popular back then. And so my brothers were working at a game where you had three tennis balls and you had to throw them in a bucket. And if they stayed in the bucket, if three balls stayed in the bucket, then you go home with like, it was worth like $200-300. The little
Oh, whoa.
moped, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like a little, how do you say this in English?
It bounces out, right? Like
Yeah.
it's very bouncy.
There's
Yeah.
a little spring. And so when you throw it, it just bounces back. But when you would come and they would explain the game to you, they would try it a few times. And when they would go get the ball, they would take off the spring. And so when they would try, they're like, oh, look, I got it. If you get 3 in, just like I did, then you can go home with this $300 moped. But yeah, then they would put the spring back and no one ever got it.
Oh, so nobody ever got that? Nobody ever like hit and then slid down? Oh, wow.
No.
I would have been there for a while. Like they would have got me, man.
Some people would spend thousands of dollars, and at some point they're like, "Hey, let me just buy the bike off of you." But
yeah,
it was very there was a lot of money to be made back then. I know there's still fairs going on right now, but I don't think it's at the same it's not the same way it was before.
yeah. There's I'd imagine that same like kind of addictions like with gambling. Like I've seen people win like $10,000 from like a scratch off, and then they put it like all back. It's like, oh no, like why would you do that? I'd imagine it'd be something similar, like with that. Man, that'd be rough. I did love the food there though, like deep fried Oreos. Like, what was your favorite food?
Oh my god, yeah, those funnel cakes.
Mm.
Oh, those are so good. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would get so fat if I like. I'm pretty chunky already. But I would get so fat if I worked at a.
Oh, you should have seen me back then. I was I was a little bigger than now. Yeah.
Yeah. It happens to us when you're working around food. I worked at a pizzeria for a while, and kind of the same thing. Chicken bacon ranch slice. Oh, it's bad times. So you went through that. That was in your. Most of that was in your teens, and then in your 20s. What was the transition? I think the last thing you said you did was the closing up the antique shop like 5 years ago. What was the timeline between then and getting into OMI and Vivi last year?
So when I closed my shop, I started working for a customer service agency, and let me try to think. So I've always tried to sell things online. So it first started when I was selling things at the flea market. Sorry, I'm like looking at the
oh yeah, no, sorry.
No, it's okay. When I was working at the flea market, I would also sell things on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a co-host?
Yeah, do you have a co-host? Oh.
No.
Okay, there's disregard. Okay, so you're selling things on eBay.
So I was selling things on eBay, and then I started seeing the amount of money that I could make online, and I was like, okay, I have to start getting more into this. So I closed my shop, started selling online. I started trying to figure out how eBay, Etsy, and Amazon work, and just doing the hours of research online, doing a lot of trial and error, trying to sell different things. And when COVID started, my office closed, my work office.
Yeah.
They closed, everyone started working from home. And that's when I started putting a lot of time into my business, because, I would have my work computer, and then right next to it, I would have my computer, and spend like most of the time working on my stuff and kind of like not working on my regular job. And then at some point I was like, okay, there's no way for me to do both. I have to choose between one of them. And I was not ready to give up my businesses. So I I quit my job, started doing online. And then last year, April 2021, that's when I got into Vivi.
Okay.
And yeah.
So it took it took a little while for you to go from getting into it to making content. I think the first time you had made something, it wasn't, I don't even know if it was a YouTube video. It was like a 3-minute clip or 5-minute clip or something back in
It was
March.
an Instagram reel, and it was, I think, like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was
And
very, very short. Yeah.
so what eventually got you to like be like, you know what, I'm going in, I'm doing it? Because you did that first, and then I think it took a couple more months before you started the YouTube channel and started this.
Yeah.
What eventually got you to go and do it?
So when I first got into Vivi, I would do a lot of research on several different things. So how to work the market, the team behind Vivi. I was very curious to know more about David Yu's background, Alfred Khan, like everything that has to do with Vivi. And I had a lot of trouble finding the information. I had to do a lot of hours of research. And I was like, okay, I wish there was like one resource where I can find all this information. And then I started finding out, like, for example, Alfred Khan, he's the one that, I wouldn't say created Pokemon, but he's the one that he took it out of Japan and brought it to us. And so I thought that was really interesting. And when I would talk about that to some of my friends, especially some of my friends that were into Vivi, they, did
Sorry,
you
I
just,
think we just lost like 30 seconds or like,
yeah,
um,
yeah, you froze.
yeah, we both froze. I don't know what happened, but
I'm
I
not
think we're
sure.
good now.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, you were saying that you wish there was one place for them.
Yeah, so I wish there was like one place where I can find all this information instead of, are you freezing again?
Not
It
okay.
froze again. It
Yeah,
froze
things are back
again.
now.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why either. Okay. Are
I
you my
got full.
connection?
I got full. Well, because I'm freezing too. If it was just yours, you would like I would still be saying, but my connection's good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
mine
keep going.
too.
All right.
Oh, just give me a second. I'm just gonna open the window because it's getting really hot in here.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to turn on the fan. It's gonna make too much
Getting
noise.
hot in here. Oh God. Anyone in the comments remember Nelly? It's getting hot in here. Oh,
Oh, I used to love Nelly.
dude.
The
That
Band-Aid.
was such a banger back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, what was I saying? What
You
were we
said you
talking?
wish there was one place. All that information was in one place. You wish.
Oh yeah. And so then when I found out information about specifically Alfred Khan, I was like, okay, we have this guy in Vivi. Like Vivi is just gonna blow up. And I was talking to some of my friends that were into Vivi, and I was telling them about that. They're like, well, I had no idea. Like I don't know anything about Vivi's background or the people that are like the founders of Vivi. And I
Oh,
was
so
like,
they
okay,
got in
so
without knowing?
they got in. Yeah, they got in without knowing. They just thought it was very easy to use. We had
Ooh.
like big brands. So I was like, okay, maybe there's other people that don't know about this. And you know, Randy, I'm extremely shy. Like even this right now is not, it's not something that I usually do. I'm extremely shy, so I'm like, okay, I want to make a video about this because I know it's gonna get people's attention more than I was to just if I just wrote a post. And so I made a video, and I think it took me like a week to post it because I was so nervous. Anyways, I posted it. I got such good feedback. So many people were sharing it. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should post other things. And so I started posting more and more, and I got such good feedback on everything that I was posting. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue doing this. I mean, I really enjoy it. People seem to enjoy it, and yeah, that's how I continued. That's how I got to what I'm doing right now. And
Okay.
had the idea to create a course. Yeah.
We have some questions. What skin products does Eva use? Because you have radiant skin.
Well, I
Yeah.
have good lighting too. Actually, there's a lot of light in my office. I don't know if you actually want to know. I don't even know what kind of products I use.
I think he's just trolling, but that's Vanessa Hudgens.
So people have always told me that I look like Vanessa Hudgens, and sometimes I get Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez. I
Oh, I
don't
could see
see
Selena a
it.
little bit. Yeah, Miley's not like she's like kind of like she's never been like a real brunette. You know, like I feel like
Yeah,
you got brown hair, black, pretty close to black, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
No. So another question for you. Are you done a lot of stuff puppy. Sorry, I heard your puppy.
Yeah, that's my dog.
I've heard a lot of you get a lot of knowledge in Vivi, but have you invested in the OMI token? And if so, how much do you have? Or
So
roundabout, you don't need to tell me exactly.
yeah, no, I don't know exactly how much I have, to be honest. I'm not an OMI millionaire yet. I have, I think, a little more than 500,000.
Nice.
Because I'm not very into crypto. I've never been into crypto, and that's also what what attracted me to Vivi, is that you don't need to have any crypto knowledge. My boyfriend is a lot more into that, so he's the one who bought the OMI for us. Yeah.
Good.
He takes care of all that. I tell him we need to buy OMI. He goes and buy it.
You nudge and be like, hey, buy a little more. Buy a little more.
Like, what do you want for your birthday? Just buy some OMI.
Oh, I would love that. I should have used that excuse. Be like, hey guys, you can just buy me some OMI. It's like $20 worth. That'd be so great if I could just.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's like $20 from like 100 people. Like, oh yeah, get me all that OMI. That'd be over 1 million OMI by now. Yeah, that'd be great. So we got coming from Danny Marquez saying, hey, thanks for being down to earth and being just really awesome with this. So what is, with over 3 hours worth of content, what do you think is one of your best segments on the Veveversity courses? What is the one that's just like, this is something that nobody's thought of and it's got such value in it? Which ones can you say?
Well, my personal favorite videos are, so I have 2 market sections. The first one just talks about the market and more like general information. But then the second one is market tips. And there's a lot of really good information there. Like, I tell you what to do during when you have specific situations. It's honestly, I can't even think of anything. It's full of tips. And okay. That's actually one video that I'm working on right now. I'm just trying to accumulate more information because I do have some more market tips that I want to share. And so, yeah, I have drop day, regular market, and tips and tricks for the market. Those are my 3 favorite videos. And then I also like, I have a pre-drop checklist. So before doing a drop, back then I used to do every single drop, but now I'm become specific, especially because we have
so many drops now.
Everything's going down, and the market's a bit different right now. Yeah. I'm a bit more picky with what I go for, and so I made a pre-drop checklist for collectibles and for comics, and I shared that with.
Is that like? Have you ever watched Rocco's Modern Life?
No.
It's back in the 90s on Nickelodeon. Rocco's like this wallaby, and there's a character called Filbert, and before he drives anywhere, he does a checklist. It's like, okay, mirrors check, tire pressure check. And please, Rocco, there's always time for safety. How much is the checklist? Is okay, checking the router, making sure I'm really close to the router, making sure I'm in airplane mode. How long is this checklist?
Okay, so it's not necessarily a checklist to do. It has nothing to do with your chances of going for a drop. That's another. I do have that in the course, but that's a separate
okay,
video.
That's separate. Okay.
Yeah, my pre-drop checklist is, for example, a collectible is dropping. So let's say I have Agamotto. It's dropping, and I am not sure if I should go for it. Mm-hmm. So especially if you're new, this could be very useful for you. Yeah. It's 70 gems. It's an accessory. It's a first edition, but then and they're saying it's like a first appearance of it's not a first appearance.
The time stone, yeah.
Exactly. It's not really a first appearance because it's an accessory. We know that accessories, seeing how previous drops performed, we know that accessories don't perform as well as characters. Yeah. So especially since it's 70 gems and then it's just different variants of the same.
Yeah. And your odds are not going to get the secret rare.
Exactly. I would say skip it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, I have, I think 12 points. I tried to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah. And if you have more positive points than negative points, then obviously go for it. If you have more negative points, then it's worth skipping. Yeah. So
what is your take on something, let's say Kripkins, where not too many people are really pumped to get a Bigfoot or like a Mothman, which I am. I love those things. I have the whole set. But even though they're still stupid cheap at $20, $40, whatever, depending on rarity. but they're really good for MCP farming because you get a good amount of MCP points. Obviously, that's bit, we haven't had any advantages for MCP points now because we haven't rolled it out yet. But we probably will in the next couple of months, I would say.
They said it's a Q3 priority to roll out phase 1. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about that.
So is Kripken something that you like someone new is like, hey, should I go for this because of this, or is it because of the MCP, or do you think that because there's really not much that's going to be moving?
So it really depends on it really depends on everyone, because some people focus more on the MCP points. Some people just want to make quick money, so it really depends what you want. I personally do focus on the MCP points. So I try to get the most points that I can. But at the same time,
sorry, I just came back from the gym. I didn't have time to shower yet. Just wolfed down my Subway sandwich. Sorry. Keep going.
No, it's okay. I lost my train of thought, but what was I saying? So it depends if your focus is to get more MCP points. Some people don't really care about the MCP points. So it really depends what you want in the long run. But yeah, I mean, if someone's just getting into Vivi, usually what I would recommend is look for big brands, look for first appearances, try to aim for maybe season 1 collectibles, because they're going to be more worth it in the long run. It's just going to go up in price. So, it really depends. Again, it really depends on who you're talking to. It depends if the person has a lot of money to invest in Vivi, if people are just trying to invest a little and see big profits. So it really depends who you talk to.
Yeah. So I've people have asked me, and I think both are going to be good. But people always ask, like, okay, should I get a Todd or should I get a Vader? I was like, okay, well, both are really good, and you'll make money, not financial advice, whichever one you pick. But I don't know which one might have the upper hand. What are your thoughts on those two?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I've seen a few people make polls on Twitter, and I don't remember who someone made a poll and Vader won.
Okay.
But it depends, because Todd is technically the first collectible that dropped on Vivi. So that's, there's always going to be one first. Yeah. But Vader is also something that people have been wanting for so long, and then we finally got it. And not a lot of people were expecting the prices to get this high. So, I mean, I never thought it was going to compete with Todd, to be honest. UR Vader is actually something that I'm trying to get right now. I don't have a Todd, but I'm aiming for a Vader more than a Todd.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be able to tell you which one's more worth it, because I honestly, if I could, I would get both. But and if you have the money for it, just get both, But yeah, I have my eye on the UR Vader. That's what I'm trying to get right now. Sorry.
It's okay. At first I was like, oh, is that a scream? Is someone okay? And I was like, oh, it's just a puppy. It's okay.
He has a very, very like high pitched scream. My boyfriend just walked him, like he just came in, so he's really excited. Yeah.
Of course, that makes sense. I get excited after walks too. I feel good. So what is your, maybe not necessarily the one that you think is most undervalued, but right now, what's the favorite grail that you think, like, hey, I'm glad this is on Vivi? It's like Spider-Man. Is it the partner statue? Is it a comic? What do you think?
So I have 3 that I really, really like. There's obviously the partner statue, but I really do regret not selling it back in January, because the prices that they are now, I mean, it's very painful to see. So the partner statue, Spider-Man, the SR, first appearance.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really like the Pride one. I really like that one. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's one of the first. I had a few of them. I sold one to get. I wanted to get the SR Spider-Man, but it was a little out of my reach. So I got the UR Spider-Man for 1.7K. I don't know how much it's at right now.
Probably similar. Probably close. Maybe a little above.
When I bought it for 1.7, everything else was like, it was like at 2K.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
I got a really good deal for it. It
Yeah.
wasn't the best mint, but at least I have it. And then if ever I find a better mint, then I'll switch it in.
Yeah. I would say that really wouldn't. I feel like the mint for that for a lot of like the stuff like that won't really matter just because there's so few of them. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, definitely.
but
I'm
the
just trying to see how much it's at right now.
so the pride is I think Amar Singh on Wendy's podcast a few days ago had mentioned that there might be an airdrop if you hold I think Pride 1 and Pride 2. Might be able to get some. Do you have Pride 2 as well?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Is that
Maybe I should get that though.
I mean it's I like it just because I like it and I like him. I like Givenchy and Everyone Collective and all that. So what's your guilty pleasure on the app? Like I think I have two. One's obviously Alligator Loki. The other one is the Hit Monkey comic. Like I know like that comic is worth like next to nothing and it probably won't go up that much, but I just love that story. What are some of your like guilty pleasures that you really like, even though you know it's probably not that good?
So I don't think I have any, to be honest, because I'm very limited with my gems. I haven't put in money in over a year. I can't. I'd rather not buy like duplicates or many of one of a specific collectible, just because I always need to make sure that I have gems in my wallet and have enough for next drops. So if I had to tell you a guilty pleasure, it would just be like spending time on the app and just buying everything that I see that's undervalued. I mean, if you're very active on the VV market, you probably see my name pop up every 2 minutes. Um, yeah, I'm Pizno, Pizno. It's my dog's nickname. That's why.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh,
How many followers do you have on the app?
not many. Let me see. Oh,
I-
wait, you know what? I have the thing open here.
Do you advertise that on your course? Hey,
No,
follow me. You
I
should.
really don't. I really don't. I have. Why can I see my? Oh, 373. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like at some point when Veveverse, first iteration will probably be this year, but I feel like the next one and land sale will be next year. I feel like the more followers you might have on there, the easier it might be to get people to come to your land and to come do stuff if you want to do an activity. I think that, and I could be completely wrong. It could just be for bragging rights, and like everything I say right now could be completely false. But I just think that'd be fun.
How many followers do you have?
It's like 1,000, I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I'll take a look see. So I think Johnny Dunn has like he's got like 5,000. It's pretty nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a ton. Oh, there's an update. Okay, well I'm gonna update it first. I don't know if anyone if you updated it in a while, it might just be for
I have to
Android,
update mine.
but everyone else comment down below if you have the Android or the Apple. So when did you get KYC and have you cashed anything out?
Okay, so I'm definitely not cashing anything out for a very, very long time. I'm not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
I actually did KYC yesterday.
Oh, okay, cool. That's when you got it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I didn't get it before, honestly. But
Yeah,
whatever. I
yeah.
don't know how they select people, but
I think it was just random because I didn't get it. I was like the third or fourth round of things that people got it. And it's like,
okay.
Randy, how do I do this? Like, guys, I don't know. I don't have it yet. So it was that was strange. People thought that YouTubers were like whitelisted for it. It was like maybe
Yeah,
some
I've
were.
seen
I
so
wasn't.
many people say that. No. Yeah, no.
All right. So what was the best ROI that you've ever had? Like, yeah, I bought a comic, wound up being a secret rare, or you just got lucky on a blind box. What are some of the good things you had?
Um, that's a very good question because usually I aim for, what did that say?
Oh, funnel cakes, turkey legs, and the
Oh,
churros and corn dogs.
yes.
The corn dogs with some honey on it. Oh, so good.
um, the biggest ROI, I mean, just the other day I sold, what was it? I got a Spider-Man. I mean, it wasn't my biggest ROI, but I would say the most recent. I found a Spider-Man common FA
Mhm.
for it was a very low mint. I think it was like 300. I flip a lot on the market, so I can't remember exactly the
Yeah.
mint. But I bought it for 200. I put it at an auction. I got just one bid, but I flipped it to 400 gems. So that
Nice.
was like, it's just like a lot of things like that. But I also I find a lot of undervalued collectibles. A lot of people sell things for $1. I'm not sure why. Some people, there's a lot of people making mistakes when they enter the amount. So
Yeah.
like an Ultraman poster, I remember I got one for 6 gems.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was a while ago, but I mean, there's just so many opportunities like that. And I also teach in my course how to take advantage of those opportunities and how to not make those mistakes, because you have to be very careful. I mean, I've made mistakes too. I've when you buy and sell a lot on the market, sometimes you try to do it quickly, or like, for example, I'm talking to my boyfriend, I'm like into a conversation with him and I'm listing something. That's not a good idea. Make sure your head is 100% in the market. Like, yeah, you have to be focused, because I've made mistakes where I could have sold things for $100 more, 100 gems more, and because my head wasn't all there, by the time that you want to take it off, it's already sold. Yeah. So you win some, you lose some.
I've seen that before. Most times it's like at night too, like really late at night, early in the morning. It's like 3 a.m. and somebody lists like a sub 100 for like the floor. It's like, oh, I need gems. I need to buy this right now. And you're like freaking out trying to get it. And so I've had some really good luck with that. I've had some really interesting things. But I did sell a lot of my grails for OMI. Back when you had like the transfers, like, hey, give me OMI, I'll send it to you. I only have the Walt and the Fantastic Four #1 secret rare right now. Okay. What did you make? Did you see the community update yesterday?
Yes, I made a recap on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
You didn't see my recap?
I did. I didn't. I've been so busy. I didn't see anyone's recap. I didn't see anyone's videos. I didn't even see Vivi Magic's interview with David today. She is like a 50-minute interview. Like, so I really need to watch that.
I watched like the first 5 minutes, and then I was busy doing something, and I didn't want to like watch it and not pay too much attention to it. So I'm gonna watch it right after our stream. Yeah,
I can't wait to. I wonder what gems he's dropped. But yeah, so the video. So what were some of your big takeaways from the community update?
Here, let me pull it up.
Oh yeah. Oh, you could. I think you can share it. If you want to pull up your Twitter, you don't have to.
Oh sure. Wait, let me just pull it up and then I'll share my screen. How do I share my screen? Okay, share screen.
Not sure.
Oh, I have to give access. Okay, this is.
I mean, if it's too big of a deal, you can just read if you want. You don't have to.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to like Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. Okay, so I mean, there are some other things, but I try to make the post as small and like as simple as possible. So I don't include every single thing, but I do try to include the most important points. So KYC and MTL obviously is available to all users. Users will have a 15-day grace period to complete KYC. I think it's until the 31st.
Yeah, 31st.
Yeah. Then for the Q3 priorities, we have account merging. So they recommend that you do only one KYC on your main account, and the other ones you don't. And then they're going to give us more details on how we can merge our accounts. So you're going to be able to transfer your gems and your collectibles to your main account. Then Master Collector Program, MCP Phase 1 is set to roll out shortly. The metadata is going to be visible on the Immutascan. They're working on that right now. I think it should be ready soon. Complete rebuild of the search bar. I know that's something that you were talking about.
I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, we're going to be able to search by edition number, collectible, brands, comics. So I'm super excited about that.
When OMI goes up, I'm going to snipe all the collectible 69s. I don't care if it's a crap collectible or if it's like the big one. If anyone has 69, it's mine.
Okay, I'm going to check if I have any 69s. I have an alligator Loki 111. I really like that one. Mint 111.
Totally buy it from you whenever you are ready to sell.
If I'm ready to sell it, if I find a lower mint, I'll let you know.
Okay.
What else? Wait list drop. You're making me read off my screen and like I squint, so like I know you guys are looking at me right now. Okay. Waitlist drop. It's still on track for Q3. So we're still going to have the Vivi letters. And then market is going to remain open during drops. And the Artist Alley program, that's actually something that I wanted to talk to you about. So it's going to be it's going to be rolling out, I think, in the next few days. It's going to be a blind auction, only available on the web app. And they're saying that it's going to last 4 days.
Okay.
I wanted to know, are you going to go for it?
Well, it depends what it is.
Okay.
If it's from an artist that's notable and I think it's cool. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, and yeah, I should rephrase it. Most of my money is in OMI right now, and I have like 17 gems. I think I don't have that much. I put in some more money the other day after I saw the end of Miss Marvel. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so no, I'm not going to spoil anything, but near the end.
Oh, you mean the end of the Miss Marvel, the show?
Yeah.
No. I tried watching the first episode and oh my god, I couldn't.
Okay, just watch like the last like 25 minutes of the last episode, and then and then you watch the after credit scene as well. That's really good too. But so I immediately bought.
I'm gonna do that right after.
I immediately bought like another 30 of her comics. I was like, I need it. But yeah, I don't know, like out of the stuff that it was in there, do you think that one thing that might be coming, or like from the Artist Alley, something that's going to be on the web app, do you think that is going to be something that he teased, or do you think it's just like a random artist that we've already had, maybe like Mac on Deck, or maybe like Mumbai?
No. He said it was going to be something really big. I think it's Cause. Not 100% sure. I think it's Cause, and because Cause is huge. I know David, who's a huge fan of Cause. And he also said that I think the person who wins the auction is going to get the physical copy and it's going to be signed. Oh my God, I wish I could go for it, but I know it's going to get way too out of reach. And I'd probably, maybe I'll bid in the beginning just to like boost up the price.
I mean, if you could pay with OMI, I mean, right now, OMI's so low, I don't think I could. Like even if you could pay with OMI, I don't think I would. OMI's so undervalued right now. I would maybe I don't at some point I would trade. I was waiting for if they were to ever announce like, hey, we got Nintendo, we got Pokemon, whatever, then I would sell pretty much everything except for the Lokis or Pokemon. But like now the only way I could really get gems is by selling like the partner statue or that Phantasm Core #1, and I don't want to do that just for the chance, you know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but you know, a lot of like I've spoken to a few people and they did say that they're like, oh, maybe it's gonna be Pokemon. I don't think Vivi would do a Pokemon auction, you know, like I don't think so. Cause is more likely. Look, I'm pretty sure it's that. I don't know. It's just I have a feeling. I have no proof. But I mean, yeah, it would make sense. And then also, you know how whenever they do the community updates, they always have stuff in the background, and we always analyze what they have in the background. And so they were talking about that, and they started this new segment. It's called David and Dan's Corner.
Yeah.
And so they talk about what's behind them. And David was talking about David was talking about the thank you. Boba Fett. He had like 3 Boba Fetts behind him, and I think that's coming to. I mean, yeah.
Boba Fett would be great. Like him and Vader are like the top collectibles usually in Star Wars. So I really like that. I think even on my interview with David on the back, I think he had a cause as well. At least 1 or 2 on there. So he's been teasing that for a while. He's been teasing Banksy for a while too. Yeah. And I don't know.
Maybe that. It's true.
I mean that. I don't know how you get the license from, because like nobody knows who he is, you know. Like I don't know how that would work. But yeah, that'd be wild if that was like that. A lot of Banksy stuff goes for like millions of dollars. Like so, I don't know. Like I would hope they would wait for OMI to NFT for that, because you know that 2.5% burn in OMI, you know, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Are you gonna try for Are you gonna try for it, or are you just like, if you were to have the gems, you're just gonna get the Vader, right?
Yeah. But I also started like recently, so I'm always like on the hunt for low mints or for like collectibles that have a big gap between the floor price and the next listing, first appearances, and season ones. I'm looking for those maybe a bit more to hold and less to flip.
Yeah.
But lately I've been, and this is really not something that I thought about before, but during our stream, I think it was with Wendy, we were talking about the Veveverse, and I started thinking, I'm like, okay, if we have the Veveverse right now, and I have my my little home, what art would I want? Like, what collectibles would I want in my home? You know, what would look good? And so I think like the Patrick Hughes, the Retrospective, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
That would look really cool in your home. The Dragon Girl also, I think that's a really nice collectible. So imagine having that in your home, and then someone comes into your home and sees that you have like a nice Dragon Girl and it's a season 1 collectible. Like, those are things that I would want. I would put the partner statue in my home too. but
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I think a lot of the 2D art, which really gets like the short end of the stick right now, I think that's undervalued because, you know, when you're younger, what did you have in your room? You had posters. You had like, you know, I had WWE posters, Trish Stratus and Lita, but you know, I would also, you know, nowadays I would want like a Star Wars poster. Like there was one, I tried to buy it, they wouldn't let me. There was one in they had an Error poster back in like I think the 80s. They had a poster and it was called like Revenge of the Jedi, and it was like, okay, well that's obviously a mistake. You know, Jedi don't get revenge, and like, but I don't know where they said it was from, but there was a limited amount of those posters made, and like they had it there, and I was like, oh man, I would love to get that. I don't know if they would have that on like something like that, like mistakes. Like, what's your favorite error on Vivi? Like mine might be the Eddie Riso. It's labeled as first edition, and it shouldn't be. So that's probably my favorite error. But what about yours?
Yeah, I've never thought about that. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say same thing as you.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's really big in Pokemon. Like you'll have let's say like there's like a blue dot error. Like every now and then there'll be a blue dot on like a Vulpix. There'll be like no HP. Like they won't have the HP on there. So things like that people really like to collect. And I'm pretty positive people do that here as well. But what about, so you said the retrospective, you know, Patrick Hughes, which I think Patrick Hughes is quite old. I feel like that stuff is undervalued just because in 10 years, most likely there won't be any new art from Patrick Hughes, and his previous stuff, especially as far as on the blockchain, probably go up a lot. Is that your favorite artwork?
It's yes, I would say it is my favorite artwork just because it's so different. It's the first of its kind. But then I also really like the lenticular cards.
Yeah, me too.
I think, you know, that was a first also, and I'm so excited for the new drop. It's going to be lenticular too.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that one. But even those, like, they would look so nice in your Veveverse home. So that's definitely something that I really like those.
Yeah, I wonder if they would, because they all produce sound and they all produce well, there's 3 images. There's 2 on the front and then there's 1 on the back with their signature, and then, you know, it has sound. But I wonder if that would be kind of like messing with your senses. Like you walk into a room and then suddenly, you know, 6 different mute sounds from 6 different pieces. Oh, like, oh god, it might overload a little bit. But I really do like
that.
Yeah, you might have to be like, okay, turn this one on for now. The one stationary. And have them rotate or something. That'd be fun. You ever see Avatar, Last Airbender, or Legend of Korra?
No, my boyfriend always makes fun of me because I'm so not educated. I don't know any movies. I don't know any shows. When I was younger, like I didn't really, you know.
Oh, you were a working girl. Which is like fine. I did too. I guess like I just didn't have like that social life really. It was just work, go to gym, and then just watch cartoons for like 6 hours a day. One of the best ones was in Legend of Korra, a sequel of Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's a bunch of giant doors, and and it's like a form of like martial arts, kind of like weave in and out of them, and it's supposed to teach you like balance and stuff like that. And then she winds up destroying them. But I just feel like the lenticular cards could do something like that because they're rotating, and that'd be a fun game to try to go in without getting hit.
Yeah.
So something I wanted to bring up, being in Canada, what are the tax laws there as far as selling things? Do you get taxed like short-term and long-term capital gains, same as us? Or is it the fact that as long as you don't cash out, there's no tax implications?
Yeah, so if I actually spoke to my accountant about this. If I don't cash out, it's like I don't have anything, so I'm not really worried about that too much. But I do think that taxes are pretty high if you do cash out. So I'm not planning to cash out. So whenever I do, then I'll try to see what's the smartest way to do it. Probably cash out to crypto, but I don't know. I really don't know what the taxes are. Sorry, I can't answer that question.
Like 30 minutes? Okay. Are you back?
Yeah, that froze.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why YouTube has been doing that on me today the last, a couple times. So there's a question to us both from Golden Boy. If you were to operate a business in the Veveverse, what would it be?
You already know. I'm gonna have my Veveversity course.
So that would be pretty awesome if you could have like a stage and just be like, all right, for those of you that want to have a crash course, I mean, you probably could just speak for 3 hours there, but you could just do would you shorten it to like 90 minutes? All right, guys, $50, all of you come in, everyone that's new, and I'll give you a crash course right now. Would you do that?
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of the videos, a lot of things that I talk about in the course are like, I talk about David Yu, I talk about Alfred Kahn. Like, we don't have to, some people know that information.
Yeah.
So it would be maybe more like a crash course on like the market or on the drops, or I could definitely do that in 60 minutes, 90 minutes.
Yeah. I kind of don't want to do like a business there. Like I'm so tired.
Can you guys see me? Am I frozen or is it just Randy? So I guess I'm taking over the stream. Oh, Randy left. No. All right. Well, if anyone wants to talk to me in the comments, I'm still here. I'm not famous. Oh, okay.
I'm coming. Okay.
I think Randy's having some issues with his camera. Oh my God. He can't put me on the spot like this. What brought me into Vivi? My boyfriend actually brought me into Vivi. He's the one who was into Vivi first. And then at the beginning, I would just start helping him to get some drops. And oh my God. And then I just started getting into Vivi. I couldn't stop trading on the market. And now I'm on Vivi all day.
What is going on? So I think before, I swear this, I mean, it was storming before, but it's pretty bright out now. I think we're fine. I guess we'll end it in a little bit. I'll just leave off with this. I do want to have a big like talent contest in the Veveverse where people can come and like do comedy or sing or whatever, and then whoever votes for like the best one and that they win, I'll just give them like OMI or something, or I'll give them. So I think that, but it's not really like a business. It's more just like a fun night,
like a talent show.
Yeah, kind of something like that.
Do you have any talents? Like, do you dance? Do you sing?
I used to dance like years ago when I was like in really good shape. And then I guess in 2017 I did it again for like for a little bit. But it was I'm pretty chunky now, and I don't think that would be a good show. I think that would be not the best.
Okay.
I guess the internet's fine now. All right, I was gonna end it, but I think we're okay now. So
Yeah,
you are.
you kind of left me there, and I had to like improvise. I had to talk to I
Oh,
had
what
to
did
talk
you
to
say?
everyone.
How did it
I don't
go?
know. It was okay. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not used to doing this, so
Yeah, I feel so. I feels like I left you. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I need you, Randy. You can't do this to me.
Okay. So I was trying to do I was trying to send you a message as well, saying like how much time do we have? I don't know if you have a little if you have other stuff you need to
I
do.
have a call in. Oh, I just saw your message. Sorry about
Oh, okay, no, that's fine.
that.
Um, all right, so we'll do one.
I
I'll
have a
do
call soon.
one more question before we bounce. Then I can talk to you off camera a little bit. Oh God,
Okay.
I got to dismiss. That's my alarm. Um, I checked the street. If what is the next plan for you? Like, is it? I know you're gonna continuously do downloadable content. I know you're continuously gonna keep on doing this. Is there any other projects you have in your mind as your collectibles go up, as OMI goes up, and suddenly you got a good amount of money? What's something else you want to do?
So not Vivi related, like in general.
It could be, or just what's next. It could be either or.
Well, actually, I think we spoke about this very, very briefly, but my goal in life, so I'm not really into like luxurious cars, luxurious homes. That's not really my thing. My goal in life is to move to Bali, open a dog shelter, and just live happily ever after. And yeah, I would love to do that. So I'm
Yeah,
actually I'm looking into it right now, because apparently the life there, like there's a lot of digital nomads, so people that just work from their computer. The
yeah.
life is amazing there. I don't know if you've ever been to Bali.
I haven't.
Oh my
No.
God, it's beautiful. Well,
Where is
when
it?
I lived there, it's next to Singapore.
Okay,
Yeah, whenever I live there, you could come see me. You could come visit my dog shelter.
that'd
But
be great.
yeah, that's my biggest goal in life. Like that's my focus right now.
Yeah, I plan to do that as well in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, or Animal Central is dogs and cats. I don't.
Mm.
I only did small animal practice. I never really did like farm animal practice. Like, so I don't really have any experience like horses or cows or nothing.
Okay.
But like Lim, my VV boyfriend is Taps. Taps, me and him have roomed together the last two cons, and he would be going to San Diego, but he's got a wedding to go to. That mother flapper. What's the next con we might see you at? Would you go to Anaheim DCon? In
So
California?
I'm not too sure, just because so I've been living with my boyfriend for 10 years, so obviously I wouldn't go without him. But he does have a regular job, so I have to see whenever he could take off of work.
Yeah.
And whenever he can, I mean, we're gonna be on the next flight, so that's for sure.
Okay, good. People are saying that I was like Drax, like I was motionless. Oh yeah, so I love karaoke. I love drunk karaoke. It's great. I'm not good at it at all. My voice is god awful, but yeah, that'll happen. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. I'll talk to you off camera for a little bit before you got to bounce. And everyone, thank you so much for joining. Everyone say bye to Dashi. Really dark back there. Bye bye Dashi. And go download a fiche. Go download a fiche, everybody. All right, goodbye.